Alright guys, welcome to the channel. We're going to take a look at the new espers that are on the test server right now. They'll be coming into the game, I believe, next week when the official servers get the update. So we have Athena, we have Nyx. We're just going to take a closer look here. Love the design, actually, very nice. So you can't beat that. What is this? Okay, that's this system. Never noticed this before. All right, so we have the first skill, forward strike, damage, attack one enemy, damage 100%, inflicts sear, so that's you know 25% damage taken. And there's also a passive on that skill, so at the start of combat, reset all of the Leora's ability. So that's gonna actually be pretty good for some game modes. I could see this working well in Tower, maybe Calamity Island. Anything where actually turns need to happen is very good to have a character whose ability goes back, resets here. So that's pretty cool. Um, Dawn Guardian. So grants standoff to allies below 50% HP for 2 turns. Grants standoff to the remaining allies for 1 turn. Okay, so I guess that's not bad because standoff is standoff. So I'm just saying it's pretty good either way. Um, so that's pretty cool. Attack one enemy, damage 150 percent of the attack before casting this ability. Uh, Leora gains War Goddess for 1 turn. If Leora's attack has this buff, then the duration is plus 1 turn. So War Goddess undispellable when her crit rate is equal or greater to the target's amplify her damage. The greater the crit rate gap, the more the damage amplifies. Grants allies shield for 1 turn right before they take a critical hit. Shield strength is based on her attacks. Um, I'm wondering if, because typically we don't necessarily build characters with a lot of crit rate. You mostly get some crit rate and then focus on crit damage, attack bonus, percentage. Um, but I'm wondering if this is one of the first characters that you'd probably want to focus on on crit rate more than anything else. Um, or maybe you could run this character with Ethan to boost crit rate. I don't know. I guess I'll make a separate video doing some tests on it, but that may not be a bad idea. Um, Undispellable, so you can't beat that either. Daylight Beam, you gain invincibility and attack up for 2 turns. Dispel all debuffs on a selected enemy. Can't be resisted and inflicts crit rate down for 3 turns. Amazing. And deals damage, so 50% of attack. Okay. Then inflicts crit rate down on all enemies for 2 turns and deals damage. Okay. Before casting this ability, she gains War Goddess, and again, War Goddess is what we talked about before. For 1 turn. If Elaine is on Leora's team and is under Night Goddess, so we'll see what Night Goddess is when we look at Elaine. Leora gains War Goddess for 2 turns. Okay. If Leora already has this buff, the duration is plus 1 more turn. Okay. At the end of combat, if Elaine is an no, at the start of combat, if Elaine is an enemy, um, then Leora gains Dawn Glow, and Dawn Glow is critical hit damage plus 5%. Leora's attack against Elaine won't miss. Not bad. This is not bad at all. It's pretty awesome. Increase allies attack by 30%. So that's the captain ability. Pretty overall, really good esper from what I see. So again, we have to test the numbers, but this is looking pretty awesome so far. So now we're going to Elaine, another fighter, or Nyx is what we call it. Um, design is also pretty sick, I must say. And this is a unit you can get from one of the events. If I have some time, I'll make a video on the events. Captain ability increased crit rate by 25%. I don't remember how much crit rate Ethan increases. I think that's what probably around the same, maybe a little bit more. Um, so that's not bad. Night Raid is the first skill. Attack one enemy, damage 90%, inflict sleep for one turn. While in while in stealth, um, deals extra damage. Extra damage is 15% of attack. Passive Elaine's attack won't interrupt sleep effect and has a 50% chance to ignore 25% of defense. So, let me see. If I'm not mistaken, is it I can't remember the Esper that does sleep, but when he does it, um it interrupts when he attacks again. It interrupts them. I can't remember the guy with the time thing. I don't remember his name. Um, cannot take action. Stealth cannot be selected. Okay, so we already know that. Oblivion strike. Attack one enemy 5 times. Well, damage per hit is 34%. So 5 times at 34%. I think that's all it is. Each hit steals one buff. Inflict attack down and sleep. Nice. Hmm. Endless Night, again, Endless Night for 2 turns, and Endless Night is grants Elaine stealth for 1 turn at the no, I don't know what I'm reading. Grant Elaine stealth for 1 turn at the end of her turn. Transfers one debuff from each ally to the target upon crit. Triggers once per turn. Enemy miss rate up is 10%. So that's really good. I can see running these characters with Ethan. I can see a deadly combination if you have Ethan on this team to increase the crit rate of these characters. Like all these extra skills, I'm sorry, extra passives and stuff would be just going off like crazy. All right, so each hit inflicts sleep and buff blocker, and buff blocker is pretty good for 2 turns. If Laura is on Elaine's team, says it's Athena, um, and is under War Goddess status, then Elaine gains Night Goddess duration +1. If I guess if they're enemies, then Dusko, and it's kind of the same as before. Crit damage increased by 5%. Um, so really good. Let's see. Now we have Camille, another fighter. Captain ability is increase the attack in story, infinite miracle, and calamity island by 40%. Okay. Um, claw attack. Attack when enemy deals 100% attack damage. Extend all debuff for the enemy. Okay. Can't beat that. Double claw. Attack all enemy. Damage is 70% of attack. Inflict disease. Again, another nice Esper disease. I remember the last one of the last modes we were playing, the new story mode, I should say. One of the bosses, not the new story mode, but Hell. One of the bosses, like, it was very difficult to beat if you didn't have a character that could land disease. So having another character that can land disease is pretty good. Okay, if the target is affected by bleed, with bleed, um, apply bleed damage immediately. Wait, what does bleed? Okay. If the target is affected with bleed, so okay, applies multiple bleed debuff. So is this saying that you need someone that does bleed before this? Okay. Woven Smash, inflict sear and bleed on all enemies. I see for 2 turns. Okay, that makes sense now. So I'm guessing you probably want to do the Woven Smash first on all enemy. Then this would, you know, be an extra bleed. Okay. Inflict bleed on enemies with sear for 2 turns. Okay. So they all work together. Okay. So that was the espers. I'm gonna do some testing on them, and I'll make a video with testing. But those are the espers. All the designs are sick. Camille is a Haiti. You have Athena, Leora, sick design, and Elaine, which looks really sick. But that's the video, guys. Like, share, subscribe, and I thank you guys for watching the video.